And I understand it. If I had a child in that situation, I would be emotional too. And I'm sorry what has happened, and we need to sit down and talk about those situations.
Thank you for your response, Ray. Thank you for your question, ma'am. We'll move on to the next question with a 1-minute response.
Yeah, and so for the next question, if you had a particular candidate you wanted, Brad?
Sure, two.
Two? Okay.
Not two questions, two candidates.
Okay.
Yeah, Barbara and to Rob. So both of you may mention that part of the problem, you see it with the district right now, is traffic spending, particularly the buildings. That's
Yes.
Hargrave High School. I think we all agree that growth is coming.
Yes.
Growth is going to come to the degree that will be a larger high school than Hargrave. Hargrave is actually a middle school blueprint. That's what Hargrave is. Is Hargrave, I'm assuming you've both been on Hargrave campus somewhere,
Yes.
right? Is that extravagant? When you look at Hargrave, when you walk in the halls, you say, this is a luxury. Both my sons graduated from Hargrave, and I'm glad myself and my wife and the taxpayers of that decade took that vote. Even though it was greater tax for me, I was willing to do that. We were willing to do that, and this community was willing to do that to give the students that high school. So my question to you guys is, do you see that high school, that's extravagant, that's an empire to education, that's a cathedral to education? Is that the way you see that building?
No, not Hargrave, but I feel when you have a bond, you have to put more into the substance of what is going on in the school, the curriculum, like I say. You don't have to build a huge building. We need to put more money into the education of the kids, and that's through paying the teachers correctly, and it's through adding these tech classes that's needed. Not every child is geared to college. Okay, that's where I want to see money spent.
Thank you, Robert. Do you have a response on that before we move to the next question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So, everything on my webpage and everything I say is not an accusation against anybody here. It's just my beliefs. So, when I was part of the CAC, when we were discussing the bond, when we went in there, they said a new high school was going to cost $300 million. And so, and I've seen these high schools up on 99, and they are houses. They're not like the high school I went to. They're not like Hargrave. So my position there is that I feel like these architectural committees, I feel like it's an industry that they've built, and they're just feeding themselves and making money. I propose that we have some of the high school students actually design the next high school, and then get the plans approved by a professional architectural firm. And then we can control costs, and we're not relying on somebody who's trying to build like this school on 99 in our school district, just so that we spend our tax money responsibly. That's what, on my webpage, that's what that means.
Thank you. Mr. Burt would like to
Can I say just one thing? A while ago, I was labeled as a yes man, and I voted for everything. Need to get it straight. When the trees came up, I tabled that. So I didn't vote for that, and that was tabled. And we don't vote yes on everything. There's some things we do not.
I'd like to add to that, because I've been about 8 board meetings, missing the last 2 because I had prior engagements, but the only time you actually got a voice was actually since you were going to run again. But other than that, I never heard anything come out of your mouth.
Mr.
Anything.
Nathan,
Okay, nothing.
let me tell you something. 3 days before we have a meeting, I get a book. I get told what's going to be on the agenda. I don't have to sit in front of people and argue with and try to find out questions. I can find out my questions before a meeting. So a lot of things that you don't, that meeting is for
Yeah,
board members.
thank you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. The board does have a bunch of information. If there's any candidates that are interested in having independent dialogue, we're going to have to move on to the HOA meeting. You had a question for a candidate? Okay, is there a candidate that would like to step out and have a conversation? I don't know what, we we won't be able to field any more questions, we apologize. But we are moving on to HOA business. We thank everybody for coming that is interested in staying. If any of the candidates are interested in stepping in the lobby to talk to any of the, I guess, constituents, voters,